Good morning, everybody. Today I would like to share with you about the experience of Hong Kong in regional collaboration with Guangdong to improve the air quality and also to combat climate change. Starting from year 90s of the last century, Hong Kong and Guangdong set up the first Hong Kong-Guangdong Environmental Protection Liaison Group. And that group allows the two places to share experience and also talk to each other on how to improve the air quality and also other environmental problems. Yeah. And after that, taking the opportunity for Hong Kong returning to the motherland, and the scope of that liaison group was expanded. And therefore, in 2 years afterwards, Hong Kong and Guangdong set up the first joint working group on sustainable development and environmental protection. Yeah. And also under that joint working group, a special panel was set up specifically to look after the Pearl River Delta air quality management and monitoring. The directors of the two bureaus of the two places, they meet every year to review the progress of the program of the work, as well as to set the agenda for the next year on the actions and also the new programs. Yeah. And after they were setting up of the joint working group, Hong Kong and Guangdong, we decided that we should work together to set up a joint study to look at the air pollution problem in the Pearl River Delta region, and also to find out the solutions and actions required in order to improve the air quality. Yeah. And therefore, in year 2002, after the completion of the study, a report on the air pollution in the Pearl River Delta was published. And that has helped establish targets for improving the regional air quality. And also, the report has recommended the setting up of a regional air quality monitoring network. And therefore, 3 years afterwards, that network was established. And the significance of that network is that the whole region, the monitoring network, applied the same quality assurance system as well in Hong Kong, and therefore that can ensure that not only that those measurements were accurate, and also enabling that comparison of the data measured in Guangdong and also in other places. Yeah. Also, the two governments realized that it is not sufficient for also actions to be taken only at the government level, and therefore the two places will reach an agreement to promote energy efficiency and cleaner production to the small and medium enterprises in Hong Kong and Guangdong. And because of that agreement, the two places have set up the Cleaner Production Partnership Program. And that program will provide a matching fund to encourage and facilitate the Hong Kong-owned factories in Guangdong and Hong Kong to adopt cleaner production technologies to reduce emissions as well as to improve the energy efficiency that will help improve the environment. And also, after a few years of implementation, the two governments realized that we need stronger scientific support to our work. And therefore, a science team was set up to review the progress of the Pearl River Delta Region Air Quality Management Plan, so that all the efforts, the programs, will have a very strong scientific basis. And similarly, the Hong Kong and Guangdong governments realized that apart from air quality, climate change was also becoming a problem, an issue. And therefore, the two places set up a new joint liaison group on combating climate change. And that liaison group will enable the two places to exchange ideas, programs, research, findings, etc. on how to tackle climate change. And I've mentioned the joint study on air quality. And after completion of the study, and actually the two places set up a joint air quality management plan to tackle the air pollution problems for the Pearl River Delta region. And under the plan, very specific emission reduction targets were set up. For the first management plan, we used year 1997 as the base year. and to aim at reducing sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, VOCs, and PM10 about 30 to 59% by year 2010. And after that, after we have reached those targets, and the two places decided that we should review on the progress as well as set up new targets for the coming years. And therefore, from year 2012 onwards, the two places have been regularly reviewing the progress in reducing emissions, as well as set up new targets for the next 5 years. And now has become a regular program between the two places. And after some years of cooperation, we also found that because in this region was not only Guangdong and Hong Kong, and therefore we decided that we should drag Macau into the cooperation, and also we draw them into the air quality management network, and also how to set up programs to improve the air quality in the region, and therefore now we are talking about the cooperation of 3 places in this region now. And just last year, and we decided that air quality and climate change, they actually for the solutions, there are a lot of things in common, and therefore we decided that we should combine the two joint working group, and we name it as the Hong Kong Guangdong Joint Working Group on Environmental Protection and Combating Climate Change. I've mentioned the Cleaner Production Partnership Program. That program was aimed to help these small enterprises to reduce pollution, and as well as to improve their energy efficiency. And you can see that after some years, that program actually has helped a lot. There was significant reductions in VOC, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and other pollutants. Yeah. And therefore, the two governments decided that we should continue that program. And just year, the program has been extended for another 5 years to 2025, and with injection of additional fund of 311 million, and we believe that money can help further improve improvement in the region. And we anticipated that fund will help support about over 900 projects and over 200 promotion activities. Yeah. Okay, then what about the air quality? Well, I think that is what we concerned about. And this chart shows the monitoring results of the Joint Air Quality Monitoring Network, and starting from 2006. And you can see that we have improved the air quality quite a lot. Well, for sulfur dioxide, the concentrations has been reduced by 84%. And for PM10 by 37%. Even for nitrogen dioxide, which has been regarded as a very difficult pollutant to reduce, we managed to reduce it by 29%. Oh, for ozone, the story is different, and I'll talk about it later. And these pictures are really revealing, and it's not prepared by me. It's produced by the Hong Kong University of Science and Technologies, based on the satellite information, to look at the PM2.5 concentrations in the region. And you can see that starting from 2003, the concentration actually was increasing. But 2006 and 2007 were the critical years. You can see that after that, all the pollution reduction measures began to take effect, and the PM2.5 concentration has been improving tremendously since that year. Yeah. Well, these are the PM2.5 concentrations in the Pearl River Delta in last year, and you can see that for the entire Pearl River Delta region, the concentrations were below 35, which actually is the first interim targets of the World Health Organization for PM2.5. And in Hong Kong, the concentration was below 20, and which actually has been better than the second interim targets of the World Health Organization. Yeah. And also because of the joint efforts, the Pearl River Delta region is the first region in the mainland reaching their targets for PM2.5, And of course, efforts are continuing in order to further improve it. It's not only the measured data. This chart shows the visibility situation in Hong Kong, and you can see that after 2005, that sort of timing, the visibility in Hong Kong for the number of hours of reduced visibility have reduced by 70%, and therefore, actually we can see the improvement in the region. And as I mentioned, ozone has been increasing. Ozone is a particularly a difficult pollutant in order to improve. For what we have done in the past, we have been managed to improve, say, particularly sulfur dioxide, etc. But in order to improve the ozone problems, we need to make further efforts. First of all, we need to further reduce the nitrogen dioxide emission, as well as we need to have a program specifically to deal with the VOCs. And indeed, there are thousands of VOCs. We need to have further studies to find out which VOCs are the most critical for the formation of ozone, and therefore we need further work on that. And therefore, looking to the future, how are we going to further improve the air quality of the Greater Bay Area? And we need to implement a real-time VOCs monitoring system in the Pearl River Delta Region Air Quality Monitoring Network. And also the two places will work together to conduct a joint scientific study to better understand the formation and transportation of ozone and its precursors in the region. And of course, we need to set further emission reduction targets for 2015 and beyond. And on combating climate change, the two places will further strengthen exchanges and cooperation on renewable energy technology. We have a lot of experience in the two places, and if we share the experiences, we will help each other to do more and do it better. And also on adaptation, we are going to share techniques for short-term climate forecast, and we also to share experience on how to do the influenza risk assessment and climate warning. And also, we need to do further researches into the sea level rise. And also, we need to share experience on the urban drainage system design and slope safety management. On this, Hong Kong has done a lot of work and a lot of experience to share with our colleagues in Guangdong and Macau. And these are how we cooperate between Hong Kong and Guangdong in the past 30 years. And we look forward to further cooperation and efforts in order to improve the air quality and to combat climate change. For now, we call the Greater Bay Area, not only the Pearl River Delta region. Thank you.